Richard Hollingshead loved two things: movies and cars. Inspired by his mom, who complained about theater seats being too uncomfortable, Hollingshead thought it'd be fun to sit in your own car while you watch a movie. So he tinkered with his idea in his driveway in Camden, New Jersey. He mounted a projector to the hood of his car and nailed a screen to a tree. He put a radio behind the screen. He tweaked his design, car parking and placement, sound sources. He even experimented with weather conditions by using a lawn sprinkler to mimic the rain. Eventually, he got a patent for the drive-in theater. He invested $30,000 and opened the first drive-in movie theater in 1933. The British comedy Wives Beware was Hollingshead's first movie. He charged 25 cents per person and per car, and with that, a cultural phenomenon was born. The concept was a hit, and the idea quickly spread across the country. But drive-ins didn't really take off until the 1950s, in the post-World War II era. Car ownership surged as families were reunited and had more children. The drive-in was the perfect family outing for those with small children, where it didn't matter if the kids got too loud. Some drive-ins had playgrounds for the kids. Some even had bottle warmers to accommodate parents with a baby. Drive-ins also offered teens the chance to be with friends or take advantage of some alone time with a date. By the late 50s, there were over 4,000 drive-in theaters across the United States. The delivery method of the movie's sound developed over time too. A few theaters had accordion-like arms that stretched speakers into cars. Then, they featured clip-on speakers. Eventually, the movie's sound could be transmitted via radio, so moviegoers could simply switch their car radio to the right station. Popcorn is a mainstay at theaters today, but at some drive-ins, there were more options. Many venues delivered snacks to your car. Some venues even had full-service restaurants. The biggest theater at the time was about an hour outside of Manhattan, New York. The all-weather drive-in had parking for 2,500 cars. It also had a restaurant, a playground, and an indoor viewing area that had 1,200 seats. There was a drive-in for small planes, too. This was in New Jersey. Planes could land in the airfield next to Asbury Park's New Jersey Fly-In Drive-In and would get taxied to and from the drive-in. There was room for 25 planes and 500 cars. But as quickly as drive-ins rose in popularity, they soon faced a sharp decline. There are several obvious reasons for this. In 1966, the Uniform Time Act mandated daylight savings time throughout the U.S., from spring to fall. This meant it didn't get dark until an hour later. For much of the summer, movies couldn't start until 10 p.m., and that made for a late night. In the 1970s, VCRs hit the scene. People were able to rent or purchase movies and watch them in the comfort of their own home. This was even more attractive than your own car for many. And lastly, urban sprawl. drive-ins were mostly built on the outskirts of town, where there were large open properties available. But as more Americans bought property in houses and spread out from the center of towns, property values increased, and that land that the drive-in theaters occupied became, well, really valuable. So much so that many owners sold out to developers. There are actually quite a few big box stores that reside on land where a drive-in movie theater once lived. To make up for lost profits, some theaters shifted their focus to more non-family friendly content, like horror movies and even adult films. Today, there are still some 300 plus drive-ins still in operation, with the most being in Ohio, New York, and Pennsylvania. More recently, there's been a resurgence of the nostalgic drive-in theater. While 2020 took a lot away from us, it did breathe new life into retro drive-ins. They are being revived. After all, what's old is new again. A night out at the movies is always fun, but a night out at the drive-in was more than that. It was a destination, an experience, a little slice of Americana. Thanks for watching Memory Mountain. If you enjoyed this video, please click to subscribe to our channel and hit that thumbs up button. Be sure to tap the notification bell so you'll be one of the first to know when we post our next story looking back over the landscape of Americana.